unfortunate event happened Tuesday regarding a protest on a parachute. So the parachute, it read "kick out oil" and Greenpeace on it, and which was basically what he was protesting. And he was flying around the field when all of a sudden the parachute, he glided into the stadium, and it seemed like he lost control after connecting with the wires. He veered away from the playing area towards the main grandstand, and he barely cleared the heads of spectators. However, regardless of that, several were injured and they are in the hospital being treated because of it. He ended up flying, like he ended up going away from the grandstand. He ended up flying and he took like kind of a hard fall on the field. And he was then confronted by Antonio Rudiger and Robin Gossens. I believe I said those two names right. They approached him like to check on him, see if he was okay, and he received medical attention on the side of the field after security kind of led him towards the side of the field. But basically, Nate, yeah, he was basically a protester and he was flying around the field. And the video is on YouTube. I'm not going to put it in the description below, but it is a pretty scary incident if you were there. You know, I wasn't there, but it looked like a very serious and scary incident on the video itself. So I can only imagine how it looked like if they were there. But yeah, there are several people who are injured, Nate, and they are being treated in the hospital. And I do have a quote from UEFA. They called it reckless and dangerous act and said law authorities will take the necessary action. And then they said, and I quote, this inconsiderate act caused injuries to several people attending the game who are now in the hospital. And then also there was a quote from the German team spokesman Jens Grittner. Sorry if I said that name wrong, but he said, and I quote, "We as the German Football Federation condemn it, of course, because it wasn't just him, but others that he endangered and injured. It's unacceptable for our point of view. And the incident is being checked by the police, the authorities here in Munich, and at UEFA. Both, but of course, we also condemn what happened there. It could probably have turned out much worse." And I mean, you know what, Nate? Let me start off with this first, okay? But before I do, the source for this article is ESPN's Associated Press. Let me start off with this first, okay? He's absolutely right. Okay, this could have been a lot worse because he narrowly missed the fans' heads too. So can you just imagine if that parachute was a little lower and he ended up hitting all those fans? It would have been a lot serious to what it is, you know. But regardless, this is still a very serious incident, you know, because again, there are several people in the hospital. They are injured, you know, and they're being treated, you know. And to everybody in the hospital, I do wish them the best of luck, including the protester. You know, I do wish him the best of luck as well, and especially everybody with a full recovery because this was a very unfortunate event. That probably wasn't his, like, I'm going to say this, the protesters like intentions probably wasn't to hurt the people, you know. Like I said, like they said, the parachute got caught on a wire and he ended up losing control basically. So it doesn't seem like that was his main focus right there, was to hurt the people. But regardless, it was a very careless and it was a very poor and dangerous act. It was a very reckless act, and he is going to end up facing some punishment, I think, Nate, regardless, you know, because this is a very, very unfortunate. It is a very, very scary event, you know, and everybody has the right to protest. You know, I understand that, but why? But my question is, why do it during the game in the middle of the air while they're playing? Like you're asked, like that's basically injuries about to happen. The game is playing, okay? You're over here flying around in a parachute around the field. I know you're trying to make a point and everything like that. I know you're trying to protest, but that's just the wrong time to do it right there. It's as simple as that. And now because of his reckless action, there are people in the hospital that are hurt, you know, and they're injured and they're being treated. So it's a very, very serious thing, Nate. In the video, again, it's a very scary video, and he could have hurt himself a lot more than what he did. You know, he's lucky that the hard fall was on the field opposed to in that grandstand. Because if it was in the grandstand, not only does he suffer a worse injury, but the people that he barely missed suffers a worse injury. You know, so this could have gone again. I agree. It could have been a lot worse, but at the same time, this is still a very serious and dangerous situation. And because of it, now there's people in the hospital. And to those people, I do wish them a full recovery, especially the guy. You know, I do wish him a full recovery as well. But regardless, Nate, this is just unacceptable. Okay. And I completely agree to protesting, you know, like peaceful protesting. I completely agree to it, but not when it could be endangering others. I don't agree with that right there. I didn't agree with like burning of buildings back when the George Floyd thing was happening. I didn't agree with the rioters who ended up invading the Capitol building. Stuff like that is just unacceptable to me. Like that right there is just taken above and beyond. But I do believe in peaceful protesting, Nate. If you want to go march in the streets and chant whatever the protest is you want to chant, that's cool and that's fine. But stuff like this, when you're parachuting over the team, this is just a dangerous act. Again, it's just a dangerous act. There was a much better way for you to protest this, and there was probably a better time for you to do it too, and this was not the way. So because of this whole incident right here, Nate, again, people are in the hospital and it is unfortunate. It's a scary incident. Not only does it affect them, it affects their families as well, because now families and loved ones are worried about exactly what's happening with the people who are hurt. And yeah, Nate, this is just a very, very sad and unfortunate situation. And so with that being said, the best way to end this, Nate, is to everybody who was injured and hurt during this event or during this incident. I do wish you guys the best of luck. I do hope all you guys have a speedy recovery, including the protester. As for the protester, Nate, he's definitely going to have to face some disciplinary actions. There's no doubt about it. You just hurt several people. Whether you meant to do it or not, which most likely he didn't mean to do it. I don't think that was his intentions, to go on a parachute and hurt people, because like they said, he got caught up in the wire, he cut, and then he ended up losing control. But regardless, I do think he's going to face some disciplinary action as well, no doubt about that. And again, it's in another country, so I don't know how they're going to handle it. Every country is different with their disciplinary actions and how they view the law and how they approach different situations. So I'm not sure what it's going to be like. I believe this was, if you can check this for me, Nate, I really appreciate it. But this, oh yeah, it was in Munich's. It was in Munich, so it was in Germany. So I don't know how they're going to treat it, but regardless, Nate, this was a very, very scary incident that occurred on Tuesday. And so with that being said, again, I hope everybody does have a full recovery. And let this be a lesson to people. If you're going to protest, do it the right way. Do it peacefully and do it safely, to not only where it's safe to you, but it's also safe to others. That's all I got to say.
Right, absolutely. And again, I don't think he meant to do it. You just intentionally.
Right. Me neither.
But again, you did hurt others. You did it in the middle of an event in which you're not supposed to be on the pitch. So
Right.
yeah, I can definitely see him getting in trouble. But my question is, okay, you're protesting, right? And the parachute said, "Take the oil, Greenpeace,"
Kick
right?
out oil and green.
Here's my question: who the hell is gonna see that? You're in the dark, flying thousands of feet in the sky on a green parachute. Who's gonna see that?
I agree. It's gonna be
Honestly,
kind of tough.
I'm not mad about it. I just think it's goofy.
I
I
don't know
think
what
it's a
his intentions
goofy
were.
way to do it.
Yeah, I don't know what his intentions were, Nate. Maybe like it was, I'm gonna land on the field or something like that,
I'm
and
not
then
sure.
get the thing and raise it. I'm not sure what his intentions were, but like I agree. Like like it's like we've seen even blimps up in the air. We're trying to read what those say, unless it's like a huge picture of like, for instance, like the Geico lizard, and we absolutely know what the Geico lizard looks like, or like the Progressive Lady Flo. I'm naming insurance companies, but those are the ones that I see. But on a parachute, you're not going to see that, right? Like, that's
Yeah.
going to be really
And
tough to read.
see, if it was in an airplane and they do what they do in the cartoons with the banner in the back, then like, yeah, that would make a little bit more sense. But on a parachute, like, I don't know, that's interesting to me because it says it right on the top of it, and that's the part that no one's gonna see.
Right.
So
Because, yeah, they're going to look
I
at
don't
you.
know. I question that because it's so goofy, it's so awkward. But hey, we all have our way of doing things, I guess. But again, I don't think he meant to do it, but that's the thing, when you're parachuting, you got to be very, very careful
Right.
because one little incident and someone's gonna die. And I'm glad that didn't happen. Obviously, I'm very, very glad that didn't happen. I do wish the protester and everybody that got hurt the best of luck, and I do wish them a speedy recovery. But you got to be very, very careful when it comes to parachuting. It's definitely not safe. That's for sure. That's for sure. But regardless, I know again he didn't mean to do it, but he's definitely going to be facing some disciplinary action. So we'll see what happens with that moving forward. As for the people again, best of luck to you guys. May you have a speedy recovery. And to everybody gonna protest again, do it peacefully, do it safely, and yeah, just don't parachute it either because no one's gonna see what you're trying to put out there. I guess you could say. So, with that being said, just do it safely and peacefully, and that's really all I have to say.